So, how was everyone's sneak peeks?
Well, pretty good, actually.
That was alright.
First time,
Any good pulls or?
first day was really good. I pulled the blue tang and the ultra rare continuous spell for the Unchained.
Nice.
And go ahead.
Nah, just mostly with just Marine says shit. Only one person in the locals pulled that IP Link monster.
Oh yeah, no, same with mine. And only one person pulled that Striker Dragon.
Yeah, I can imagine a couple of cards are gonna be some money in this set, especially with all these different decks.
Yeah.
That level 8 synchro, if I remember, that tiny ogre. Only one as well.
I don't think that's gonna be too much money. It might be hype, but it's gonna go down because that whole archetype really isn't it.
I've heard it's more on the shorter print end for ultra rares.
Okay.
But it's been hovering around $10, and I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 15. But that's probably about it.
Yeah, like I don't see it going too high. Only cards I think that are gonna be really money in the set is the IP, the one that links something on your opponent's turn.
Unchained cards.
That Link 4, Salad Link 4.
I would say Striker Dragon and Starleaf Schaefer, just because of the Dragon Link hype.
See, the thing about dragons is they all lose. Like, it loses to Nabarro super hard, so like it might get hyped up, but I don't see that. Like, I don't see a dragon deck like taking over. You know, although that Gladiator Beast deck, oof, yeah, that might do some things.
I haven't seen too much like gameplay on that one.
They could basically bring out a universal negate. And I'm pretty sure they could do it under 5 summon.
That and they can also clear a board if you use the editor and Geyzeris combo.
Oh yeah. They have some utility as well. So if they're looking at back row, they could rip up the board. If they're going first, they could bring out like 3 or 4 negates because they have like a counter trap. I think that like is also a universal negate.
No, their counter trap is monster
spells
negate.
And traps?
No, it's monster negate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, their spell and trap negator. Well, they do have spell and trap negator counter traps that are singular, but their biggest spell and trap negator is Heraklinos.
Okay. But yeah, like the Gladiator Beast, I believe will do a lot of damage because of how like it just does a lot. It does like a lot of stuff, and I like decks that do stuff like that. So you know, I can imagine it's gonna do some work.
I haven't seen any combo videos, so I can't say to the power of them.
They end on an Appaloosa, a Hope Harbinger, and what you call it, the counter trap.
It's not bad.
So that's pretty good. I mean, I think it's more impressive that they could bring out these boards with like under 5 summons. So as soon as you get that universal negate out under 5, and you can just continue your combo with no worries, like. You know, like, because the Nabarro is literally the only card in this format stopping everybody from just going crazy at this point, which is good in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I like it. I'm starting to learn control again, finally.
But Marine set support's coming out. I think the whole archetype's gonna be ready at this point. Like, so we're gonna see what they can do.
Blue Tang is pretty much just the Foxy of the deck.
Like, because they're getting a field spell, they're getting Link 4, I think they're getting everything they were missing in this whole set, right? Or am I tripping?
I believe so, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they might be getting another Link 4 eventually, but I can't.
What does it do?
Oh, I can't remember. It's been a while.
It doesn't.
I think the archetype is underwhelming.
The archetype itself is, but if you can combine it with stuff like Paleo, it's not that terrible.
Like pretty much frogs.
Pretty much, because if you're throwing, they're all water, so you
susceptible to Nabarro.
It is, but you do have the traps to go back on that, and since Paleo and especially frogs for that matter, Ronin Totem's always an amazing recovery tool.
True.
Okay, I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, sure. But it's like Salad. It's like Salad, except it's not as broken because Salad could just get to the traps very easily. Like just follow the combo, get you to the traps, and the remaining cards in your hand are like the extra interruptions you can use. Whereas Marine Cess, they use up your spells and trap zone because you're equipping your link monsters. So all you got left is one zone, maybe two, if you want to do that. But it's like, and the field spell is supposed to be like it's kind of underwhelming. Like the whole archetype is really underwhelming to me.
I don't even think they'll play the field spell and the equip one. They'll probably just stick with what they've been doing and just go Marbled Rock and Toad, and then just set a whole bunch of back row and use. I forget what Blue Tank does exactly, but they'll just be able to incorporate that in the deck.
I mean, if that's a strategy, then that probably would be better than the way they're doing in OCG with the Link 4 and like 3 equips, and it ain't it. My opinion, it ain't it.
Yeah, though Unchained though, I think that's going to be a nice engine because the deck itself isn't that great, but if you can combine it with something, it would work.
Dracos.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Dracos. That's gonna be like I feel like because like what was it YCS? No, it wasn't YCS. It was UDS. What was it in South? What was that UDS recently that happened where Dracos came second place?
Oh, it was in South America. I can't remember exactly.
I forget what it was, but yeah, it was a UDS happened recently, and Dracos came second place, and a lot of people were like complaining and still saying that Dracos is trash because it takes no skill to play the deck, quote unquote, right? And my thing is now Dracos getting Hakai or whatever they're called now, Unchained or
Unchained,
Uncharted,
Unchained,
yeah, Unchained Dracos will definitely be like the new meta spice.
It'll replace Striker Draco.
Huh?
It'll replace Striker Draco.
Striker Draco, Floodgate Draco, like I can see both. I mean, I think Floodgate Draco might stick around because it's so easy.
It'll always stick around.
Yeah, but Unchained Dracos, like I hope everyone gets familiar with that matchup because all it's going to be doing is ripping your board up and stealing your monster, which won't be so bad because people are not just sitting on one monster like strikers no more. Like they kind of have like a spread out board, but it's still gonna be really problematic because that Link 4 just keeps popping and yeah, that's gonna be real problematic.
Yeah, I think
it's gonna be like the masterpiece of the deck.
Oh god,
what they were missing before.
And plus, they could easily OTK you too. If they don't OTK you, then they lock you out. But the good thing about that deck is that if you have a formidable board and you prevent them from like going off, and you could easily out resource them. And once they get out resource, they lose the game. So it's like it's a fair deck in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems that you're replacing some consistency cards for more power cards.
Yeah. So all you gotta do is survive that push. It's gonna be hard, but if you survive it, you should win the game.
Oh no, a lot of my decks I just have to worry about me going second because I'll just OTK him.
I mean, can the deck, if you playing against that deck, would it be smarter to make them go first and you go second?
No, because I like to break a board.
No, I'm saying like they go first and you go second.
Yeah, that's what I said. I go second and I just break their board and OTK them.
Okay, but I'm talking about everybody though in general. Like, would it be better to make Unchained deck go first because it excels at going second?
I wouldn't say that. From what I've seen and combo videos of that, it feels like it can go first or second because of the fact that the Unchained Link 2 is a quick effect to link on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, but like you're less susceptible of getting your board ripped open, because like if you're going first and they're playing into you, you're kind of playing into their strategy of ripping your board open and putting damage on you. So like if you make them go first and you make them commit, all their Draco plays are not as like plus. So you see what I'm saying? Like you basically like it's counterintuitive for them to go first. They rather go second.
I get what you're saying, but it's just I feel like with the Draco traps that definitely helps, especially when you use Apocalypse, and it's combining the Link 2 with Apocalypse or any other Draco or the other Draco trap return just to pop more cards on the opponent's side of the field. It's definitely gives it the option to go first with the traps, but then the Hawkeye gives it the better option to go second.
I mean, without the floodgates, though, what are you scared of?
I would... Go ahead, one.
Like, at that point, it just becomes a hybrid of just being able to do both. Because I know it's not going to excel, it's probably just going to prefer going second more times than not. But if it could go first and set up maybe like a floodgate or two, plus the quick effect to link off, I think that would be enough to, not get gamed. And then when your opponent makes a lackluster board, you just game them and it comes back to you.
Yeah, because you could also run something like lose one turn, because your link 3 will just be negated, but that's not a quick effect, so you can just use your link 2 to get rid of everything, and then lose one turn will shut down all special summon monsters.
You know what's interesting? So, I feel like with all this new stuff that's coming, like this new set that just dropped, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder like how they're going to interact with our current format, because we're in a format where everybody's just like playing the borrowed. Some people are main decking Super Poly, some people are siding it. Then you got the summit limits, the Garrick only ones, the Mystic Minds, like. I kind of wonder how these decks are going to operate in these awkward game states,
Well, I think they would. Well, for one, you can always try and get the Omni Negate in the before the 5th summon, or make it as the 5th summon.
Yeah.
And a lot of the back row, that even if they're maining it, that's more just of a tech choice to decide to main it, but. Since Super Poly's mostly a side card, except for those hero players.
Because I could see a lot of Silent and Great players playing Super Poly in the main now, which I think is kind of bad, but it's not that awful because they can just like Super Poly for their fusion. Damn, I forgot the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Violet Chimera.
Yeah. So like they could play that for that, or they could just play it for the Starving Venom, because like Thunder Dragon and Orcus is like super popular in this format right now. And like when you think about like these new archetypes that are coming, like Hakai or Unchained, they're all dark.
Yeah.
So they could fall for a Super Poly,
Yeah, I see what you mean. The Super Poly is just definitely a card that you have to worry about. But even
I just hope these people who are intending on playing these decks, they're like. I hope they have like a certain mindset. Like it's not gonna be sweet. Like this is not gonna be an easy ride. Like like you will get your shit checked in.
Oh yeah,
this format is really gross.
I
don't think any deck in this format is gonna like just super power creep.
Yeah, no, especially with the 3 Super Poly and the Nibiru. But I think overall Orcus might still take it only because of the fact that it seems to have adapted pretty well.
You think Lunalight Orcus will still be the flavor, or do you think it's going to be like to pure like
more towards pure because it gives you a lot more options? Lunalight Orcus will probably go second OTK deck.
Because like Jesse Cotton recently won that UDS with Lunalight Orcus.
Yeah. Again, I think it's more just the fact that Orcus is just that flexible.
Yeah, I feel like it's taking the spot of Strike Strikers somewhat on a utility deck that just does everything. Like it does, Sky Striker does, but better in a sense. It's the only thing it's missing is Widow Anchors, to be honest, and Engage. But they kind of have an Engage because they have the spell card that just discards an Orcus monster, draw 2 cards, and then you just combo off with the Orcus monster. So like,
yeah,
but that one's at least hard to win per turn.
It's a hard once per turn, but like it doesn't really matter at that point because it's like you got the draw and you got your Orcus in the graveyard. Like you went +3,
Oh yeah.
Probably like +20 because that Orcus combo is about to go off. So it's like I feel like Orcus at this current moment, I'm a little surprised that Konami didn't really like touch them in that list.
Too much because they could just go back to what they've been doing before. Because I know during Sneak Peek.
They did touch Mermaid. I took that back. They touched Mermaid. They did touch Mermaid,
yeah.
But that was more.
Yeah,
that was more towards the Orcus dot decks, not that's the original pure.
But let's be honest, that's not that bad because I versed Orcus this weekend, and pretty much what they do is they're doing what they used to do when it first came out. Armageddon Knight dump, Dark Grepher dump, link off into a bunch of stuff, and they're using the Assault package again.
Oh,
See, I'm seeing people who are just going pure, just pure Orcus,
with the bigger
and using that spell card, to just dump, or they could use Scrap Cycler to dump. Like, they're not doing all that extra stuff, and they have a bunch of hand traps and like I was watching Mike Albany play at Tier 1 with Orcus, and it was just like it was just very interesting to watch that duel because he just picked apart Ultra guys, and they're not supposed to be winning against back row yet. He had a fairly easy time.
Yeah, I faced against Orcus at Sneak Peek, and it did have pretty consistent boards of being able to set at least 2 cards. Plus, Babel is just insanely good, and the way it combos with Nibiru is pretty dang good.
I mean, between Cyclone, between Phoenix, Unicorn, and Gersu, like, they just have, like, so many back row ways.
You're turning robots.
I said they have so many ways of just removing back row, and then after that, they could just out-resource you the next turn, even if they don't kill you.
Yeah, and plus they have plays like if they can get rid of or stop any removal of Babel, they can still provide removal on the opponent's turn because of Skeleton.
Pretty much.
And they can still technically run the Shit All engine.
Pretty much. If they want to go second.
Well, not even going second, going first, because if you draw the Shit All and any dark, you can just go into Winda, and you still have the Winda and the Dingirsu.
I think Instant Fusion would be better, though, wouldn't it?
It technically is, but the fact is that you would have to detach a material to protect the Winda on the end phase.
I mean, honestly speaking, because, like, if you go Galatea, right, Instant Fusion, bring out Winda, drop their Yusu, attach a monster, end phase you drop 1 on your opponent's turn. They can't special summon more than once. Like, majority of the format gets stunted after that.
Oh yeah.
So they like kind of they just win the game after that point, like they just kind of win.
Yeah, it's a lot of the combo decks definitely have to go without that one special.
Like, I think you have to have mind control in your side deck. Honestly, like, you have to run it.
Oh, any deck that goes second, I would say just they could name that.
Like, cause like if you see certain decks just have these little lockouts that you just can't beat. I think I think Dinosaurs might be a great contester for the next format. Like, this format coming up, like, I think they might be a good contender for like top 5.
Oh, they're a good they're definitely a good rogue option because they just laugh at Nibiru because of Miscellaneousaurus.
Yeah, and VFD just shuts out so many matchups. Like, VFD by itself beats Salad, Orcus, Thunder Dragons too, because they can't do nothing. I really can't think of any major combo deck.
I wouldn't say Thunder as much because of the fact that
oh yeah, most of our effects activate in banished or you activate in hand.
No, they can't if it's possession, but they have to declare the right attribute because you can still.
If they call dark against Thunder Dragons lose.
No, but you can still use your lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what lights are you gonna make that Thunder Dragons are just gonna go off with?
Well, they wouldn't really go off, but they would be able to wall up somewhat with using
Hawk, using Hawk to summon
Matrix going into Colossus.
Okay, so let's look at this theory. They go into Matrix into Colossus somehow, right? They're still staring down at VFD, and if the Dinosaur player drops a UCT, that's just game.
Oh yeah, it is. But the Thunder Dragon player can also drop using Thunder Dragon Fusion if they're able to hard draw it, or even just search for it because they have.
Titan wouldn't work because then Titan's on the field. It becomes a dark. It wouldn't be able to activate its effect.
No, I get that, but during the end phase or during the opponent's turn before they would activate any VFD, if they have like dark in their hand, they can just go dark effect. Yeah, they would have to chain the VFD, but it would turn the monsters still into dark, and it just wastes the material for VFD.
You're assuming that they don't have a Miscellaneousaurus or a UCT on board, which they could chain to, so Titan doesn't.
But you do it during the draw or standby phase.
Okay, but that's assuming they don't have a Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneousaurus only works during the main phase.
Okay. But then they could just chain VFD then.
Yeah, but that's wasting material on VFD.
But if they're going for game, then it's not really a waste.
I guess.
I have like a really, really good matchup right now in this current, like really good matchup. Like True King Dinos looks really scary at this point. Just the fact that they're getting rid of back row decks
I wouldn't even
makes
say true.
dinosaurs look really scary.
I wouldn't even say full True King Dinos. I'd even say Lost World Dinos can do pretty well because Lost World is
I
such a
mean,
great card.
either could do the job, but it's just like True King Dinos with a VFD just blows out games.
Yeah.
Because like, what does a Salad deck do against VFD?
Nothing.
Orcus.
They pretty much just Salad just has to pretty much set the trap and pray.
They just have to sit there and pray that they don't have enough to OTK the next turn because their back rows, like they might have like an impermanence back there or a call by the grave. Like,
Yeah. Though VFD, you do have to worry about with the other games. You do have to worry about Nibiru because it's not a dinosaur; it's a worm.
that's definitely true.
So once they go on the VFD summon, you just go on the end of the main phase, chain
But
Nibiru.
if you summon like a dove right next to the VFD, like you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but you'd have to put the Link 2 out just to get the VFD and the Dilka.
Yeah. You can't just shotgun VFD. Well, they could shotgun VFD by itself. They could shotgun it.
Okay, but if they shotgun it, then you can chain Nibiru.
Summons. Because all you gotta do is
You're roboting again.
all you have to do is reveal Fire True King, a Water True King, and a Fire Monster, and then you can get out to the VFD in like under 5 summons.
Yeah, that is true. Just to turbo it out, but then you're using your extra monster zone, and then you're having to go
Just sitting on a VFD. Yeah, you're sitting on a VFD. hoping
pretty
that's
much.
enough.
And even then, VFD can they go activate VFD, you go imperm.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have the out, then you got the out.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, we can all say that. So, out of non-archetypal cards, what individual cards are you thinking will be impactful on the meta?
Probably the Ib, the Link 2.
The Link 2, which one is that? I'm actually bringing up the full list.
It's the one that says you can link someone on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Oh, IP.
Yeah, IP. Whoops.
Okay, yeah. That card is definitely going to see play, and it will provide a lot of disruption. The problem that I've seen with it, though, is that even though going into like a Phoenix, a Cerberus, or a Unicorn is really good, you still want a very high impact card.
Yeah, so you would. So would you do something like topological Trisbania? Not Trisbania. Zeroboros?
You could,
'Cause
but you would have to have a second Link 2 on the field. Because you can only link someone with that and one other monster.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what made it a little tricky, because you can only use that and another monster, so you either have to have a Link 2 or whatever to go into your other ones. So you can't go into like Borreload, Boral Sword, or any monster that says 3+ effect monsters.
No, yeah.
I think Gallant Grynet is gonna be
Oh, definitely.
non-archetype card format. At least for this out here.
You're roboting again.
Oh man, is it better now?
Yeah.
It searches out Nibiru for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah, it that's definitely a thing.
Searches on.
It's a rank 4. It's literally just 2 level 4 monsters. So
Yeah, so any deck that can make a rank 4 and they can just search out Nibiru, or even play like some of the rock big monsters that came and just set them directly from, I believe, the deck.
Yeah,
I
but
think
the thing
any
is,
deck that could just set back row and search on the Nibiru is really scary. Like, I think Salmon Greats might incorporate this strategy. Like, they might incorporate it.
Yeah.
but would you play
Instead
into
of going
the
Dweller. Huh?
But like, if you know the Nibiru's in hand, would you play into it?
I mean, you have two options, right? You either play into the Nibiru, or you play under the Nibiru. But if you play under the Nibiru, depending on what deck you're playing, you kind of lose regardless. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I got you. Because if
So, because it's like it's really a bad situation, like really bad. But I think the card's worth playing though.
The
'Cause
knowledge of
forces-
having Nibiru in hand is definitely something that puts pressure on the opponent to try and either break the board or set something up where they can't be OTK'd.
It's like searching a maxi. Like think about it this way: if someone searched the maxi some magical way, right? Like, would you not special summon?
true.
You know what
But
I'm
I feel
saying?
like
It's like
but I feel like it'd be different in that situation because
Yeah, because Max C you can still kill your opponent, but Nibiru you can't.
yeah,
true, but it's still that pressure though. Like the knowledge of having maxi in hand is gonna have a psychological effect, and it's gonna make your opponent play a certain way. They might even just scoop. They might even go as far as scooping once they see you do that. Like I think the card's gonna have some impact, definitely.
I think it depends on the deck.
Great players. I can see Simon Great players going for the strategy though. Instead of going Dweller, they might go into that guy and search in the bar room.
not even just that. But I think something as like pendulums can do it. Definitely.
Pendulums, I don't think pendulums would do it because pendulums make a crazy board, and if they lose that board, they lose that game.
I think it depends on how you decide to build your deck. Like, obviously, if you were going to play Gallant Granite in a Salamangreat deck, you wouldn't have to. You can't put as many resources on the board. You would have to put something like a Balinx and then Gallant Granite searching out the Nibiru, just so that way, when you have enough resources, if they either bait out the Nibiru or just set up a field that you can just summon your entire field and push for game.
Okay, so like if Solomon Great chose to invest the least amount of resources possible to make him versus going full combo, I don't think it really matters because in the day the link monsters have no defense. So if they didn't burrow somebody, that link monster token, I mean the Nibiru token is gonna be really small in defense anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And on top of that, they can recycle everything off of Jaguar.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just you still don't want to waste a lot of your resources, especially because if you're going, say, full combo, then you've basically used a Mirage Stalio, a Sunlight Wolf, and...
Yeah, one of the Sunlight Wolves will definitely hit the graveyard, because the other one's going to get bounced off of Jaguar.
Yeah, but you're still wasting a lot more resources, and with the loss of 2 Gazelles and 2 Circles, they don't have as much of a resource-intensive game as before.
It might be harder, though, to do that play, because... bringing out 2 level 4 monsters, it might require them to go into Stelios. Like, it might require it.
No, they can go... Because they can go even just normal summon Jaguar, or pitch with Signet Mining to search, normal Jaguar, go into Balinx, then use Jaguar, say put a Salmon Great Monster back into your deck, special it, activate Foul, special Foul, overlay into Gallant Granite.
What is Foul bouncing?
Foul doesn't bounce. Whenever Foul is, whenever a Salamangreat monster is normal or special, you can special it from hand.
Oh, I'm thinking of Falco.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Falco.
Yeah.
Alright, Foul might be good. Yeah, Foul might be good in this situation. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if they decide to go for a more rank 4 option, then you're basically playing a lot more Foul.
Yeah, Foul XYZ Turbo. That doesn't sound too bad.
I'd have to say for one of the cards that I think is going to be interesting, I think Jelly Cannon is going to be interesting.
Oh, I was thinking about that too.
It's definitely a card that I would say Altergeist could play.
Let's do that.
What does that card do?
Whenever a monster declares an attack, you activate it, target I believe it's a monster or a card. Let me check.
Oh,
it is.
I got you.
What's it called?
Jelly Cannon. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target one monster on the field, shuffle it into the deck.
When an opponent monster declares an attack...
Yeah, it
would have been better if it didn't target.
I think it would have been better.
The targeting doesn't really matter, honestly, because it just says declare an attack or direct attack.
Just declares an attack.
And what is it? A counter trap, regular trap?
Regular trap.
That's not bad.
It would
That's
definitely
not
be.
bad.
It's definitely something I think Altergeist could try and play because if
I think any trap deck, regardless, should be playing this card because
yeah,
it's like a Mirror Force, but a little better.
they would have to definitely put something up that has targeting protection.
But then at that point, wouldn't you rather just play Storming?
Nah, because Storming says
When an opponent's monster
You have to
declares an
be-
attack.
Yeah, but
direct
it says
attack. I
this
think.
No.
I think it's
No.
direct attack.
no,
Direct.
that's drowning.
Yeah, that's drowning.
Oh,
Storming is just a
okay,
regular
okay.
attack. I thought Jelly Cannon was when either monster declares an attack. I
Never mind,
misread
never
that.
mind. No, I see it now. I mean, it shuffles back into the deck. I get that, but if your opponent has a full board of just extra deck monsters, they're going to go into the same place either way.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Only thing is like Conquery kind of does the job for outer guys. Like you can just play
Yeah.
some Conquery.
Well, my thinking is that if you have the multi-faker in hand, you can go opponent's monster declares an attack, activate that, spin that back, special multi-faker, special Secudus bounce multi-faker, and then bounce another card your opponent controls.
And then you could stop an
Can't you
attack
do the
with
same thing
Conqueror.
with a Mirror Force?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Now it just seems very like
Yes, now it does. So I'm gonna change that now to bye damage. I think that card's gonna be a nice weird card to play.
Wait, bye.
I think it might be like a funny card to play. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
just one of those situations. People
So-
like, what does that card even do?
During damage calculation, if a monster you control is attacked, that monster you control cannot be destroyed by that battle. Also, any battle damage you take from that battle inflicts double effect damage to your opponent. You can only apply this effect of bye damage once per turn.
Oh, that
Whoa!
hurts.
Hold on. Is that a trap card?
It is a
spell
trap card.
Is it continuous?
It is a normal.
Okay, we gotta read that card one more time for me. Read it one more time for the class.
During damage calculation, if a monster you control is attacked, that monster you control cannot be destroyed by that battle. Also, any battle damage you take from that battle inflicts double effect damage to your opponent. You can only apply this effect of bye damage once per turn.
So
Bro.
in theory, that card does more damage depending on how small your monster is. Like the smaller your monster is, the more damage you do to your opponent.
Basically, so if your opponent attacks a monster with Boral Sword, you're not losing that monster. You're taking 3,000, but your opponent is taking 6,000 effect damage.
Wait, I'm still
Oh.
taking damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still take the damage, but your monster's not destroyed, and your opponent takes double that in effect damage.
Damn, that's it.
That is hilarious. So,
That's definitely interesting. I think I might be playing that. What's the name of that card?
Bye damage.
What's the rarity? Common, super,
Common.
secret? Bye damage. I'm gonna type that in my notes.
spicy tech for time, of course.
I mean, it makes Destrudo a little more dangerous.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. Because your opponent Destrudo, and then they attack you for 3, and then you just kill them for 6.
Yeah. It makes
Like-
Boral Sword a lot more tricky, because you could just go...
Risky.
Yeah. Because it's attack. Oh, I just took 6,000.
But if they know... Actually, no, never mind. Because I know you could chain block a Mirror Force with the Boral's effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go just declare attack, affect the Boral. They can't do it. But since this is damage calculation, you can't really block it.
Yeah, no, you can't respond to it. Not unless you have something that can negate activation.
Yeah. That is intriguing.
Yes, it is a very interesting card.
Well, actually, you know what card that I think I like? It's actually wait, let me check it. It's the new Cauldron card.
Yeah, Cauldron of the one that
Of the old
it
man.
has got. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It's I love it, and I maybe if they gave us Metaverse back at 2, I'd probably go back to playing Mystic Mine with that. You know how like hilarious it'd be? Like, I just instead of like wanting to kill my opponent, I just start gaining life points just to spite them.
That's just evil.
Evil, of course.
It makes me glad that Metaverse is only at 1, but fine.
This is. I might just start playing mine again just to try to test this card out. It just looks hilarious.
Oh god.
You start. Oh my god! Actually, I could play in my old Gren Manju stun deck, and just sit on like 20,000 life points until I get my cards to OTK.
Yeah, and you can also even if you have the OTK, you can just go burn damage on like the 5th counter or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, Now, what do you think about uh, Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid, the Link 5 that we have as the cover card?
I think that the best deck, in
What
my
does it
opinion,
do?
for that would be Salamangreat.
All right, so I'll read off Dark Fluid. 3,000 attack, Link 5, 3 plus effect monsters. If this card is Link Summon, you can place counters on this card equal to the number of Cyberse monsters in your graveyard of a different monster card type. Fusion, Ritual Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz. Gains 2,500 attack for each of these counters on this card during the battle phase only. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can remove 1 counter from this card, negate the activation. Also, if this effect was activated between this card's attack declaration and the end of the damage step, it can make a 2nd attack in a row.
So just,
Bad.
it's like OTK machine, but
Yeah, it gives you an option because you're gonna get 1 counter if you use that with if you use a Stalio with it, or
Yeah.
even if you just have a Stalio in your graveyard, and let's just say somehow your Violet Chimera got into the grave. That's 2 counters right there, so it's at 8,000 attack with a negation.
yeah, and then also you could just dump the ritual. Pretty sure. Actually, wait. I know there was a way to get 3 on it consistently.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
and it's a very interesting card, and I think it could be run of as a nice tech in a Salamangreat if they decide not to run Pyro Phoenix, but that card's just really too good on its own.
Yeah, like why not run Pyro Phoenix?
Yeah, it's I do think it's something to consider for anything that can summon multiple types in 1 turn.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking what can do. You know what? You know what? It's stupid that this popped up into my head. You know Archfiends?
Yeah. Wait, which ones?
Summon Skull.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like they could run this
Mm,
but not in like a consistent way.
yeah.
But if they can get like they have all 4 types, they could just go okay. Like I don't know, for some reason if they want to go, yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
It's going to be interesting to see how that card turns out. I do think someone
Actually,
will
no, they
try it
can't.
out.
I'm an idiot. It has to be Cyberse monsters in grave.
Yeah. I do think
So-
someone will try it out. Probably in
No.
Salamangreat. I wouldn't even be surprised. Oh, no, not. I wouldn't even say. I can't say Marine says, but. Ooh, Mathmex. When they come out. Because they're
Oh,
Cybers.
yeah.
And they have an Xyz and a
What?
Synchro.
What's coming out?
Mathmex in the next Duelist pack.
What do
Not
they
Duelist
do?
pack. They're basically just an OTK machine.
Oh, okay.
It's just a bunch of level 4 Cyberses.
They're just really strong.
Yes.
They will go second and they will beat your face in. That's about it.
Oh, I got it. Is that one with the synchro?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I know what that does. Now I know what it does.
Right. Now, going back a little to the archetypal, I think Draco Berserker of Tenyi will be an interesting card, like as a one of in a lot of decks.
That Link 3?
No, the level 8 Synchro.
Oh, the Drake Ogre, yeah.
Yeah, because it's
The I know you talking.
yeah, the level 8 Tenyi.
Oh, why do you think it's gonna be so good?
Well, because it's a generic level 8, and whenever your opponent activates a monster effect, you get to banish the monster. And it's a big 3,000 body as well, but it's the fact that it's
also
generic.
gains attack.
Yeah.
And it can make a second attack, which is dumb.
Well, who synchros?
Well, Dragon Link for one.
Okay.
And pretty much any deck that has the ability to synchro can run it. So
Like I feel like Dragon Link would rather run this than Boral Sword.
no. That
Ooh.
well, with the loss of Agripane, they can still play it.
Oh yeah.
They basically don't.
that's true.
And I'd probably even say even to an extent, Orcus could because of the fact that Bombard is a tuner.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Combine
no.
that with Nightmare, and you have an instant level 8 there. And it is a dark.
Oh no.
I gotta get headed now, guys.
All right.
Catch y'all later.
Take care, man.
And then there were two. Let's see how much. I don't know how much we're at, but I think we could do that for a short video.
All right.
We could have
If
probably.
anything.